All right, Ian, you know we're the official Battle Royale and Fortnite podcast. We're good friends with Ninja. He's doing well at me. We FaceTimed the other day.
I had Denny's with him the other day.
You had Denny's with him?
Yeah,
Why didn't you invite me out?
Sorry. Private Denny's.
You know I introduced Ninja to you?
Private Denny's.
When we met back then. All right, so there's a lawsuit in the works against Epic Games for not warning parents that Fortnite is allegedly as addictive as cocaine. Montreal-based law firm launched a proposed class action in Canada, Canada, on behalf of 2 Quebec parents who claim that Fortnite publisher Epic Games needs to pay the price for a third-person shooter they allege is as addictive and potentially as harmful as cocaine.
My first question is, how much cocaine have the parents done to be making this comparison?
Maybe they're experts. They're parents of a 10-year-old and a 15-year-old, respectively, here. All right? 2 different plaintiffs, sounds like. Written in French, the legal action alleges that when a person is engaged in Fortnite for a long period, the player's brain releases the pleasure hormone dopamine, and that Fortnite was developed by psychologists, statisticians, and others over 4 years to develop the most addictive game possible. Also, Epic could reap lucrative profits. An Epic spokesperson said that the company does not comment on ongoing litigation. The defendants, this is the lawsuit, says the defendants use the same tactics as the creators of slot machines or variable reward programs to ensure the dependence of its users and the brain being manipulated to always want more, the suit alleges in a rough translation. Children are particularly vulnerable to this manipulation since their self-control system in the brain is not developed enough. Okay, Ian.
Then every fucking video game that's ever had a just one more go appeal to it is as addictive as cocaine and should be obliterated off the face of the fucking planet. Because this isn't even about like microtransactions or anything. Because nothing that you can buy makes the game better. It's all cosmetic. So they're literally just ragging on the game being popular and fun and them not being able to parent and or their children having no self-control. It's like saying Pac-Man's as addictive as cocaine because I want to try one more time.
Yeah, and people played tons of quarters in 1980.
Yeah.
81, Miss Pac-Man, 82. That games are supposed to be... What is something... If something is fun, you want to do it. If you want to do it, you might do it more. Does doing it more make it addictive then? Is it inherently addictive then if something is fun? Like we're getting in really sort of a semantical territory here about deciding is something too fun that you can't stop playing it?
What is this puritanical bullshit? No, we can't have games that are too much fun.
I famously, I said in the podcast, or infamously, lost an entire summer to playing Civilization 2 in high school because it was too addictive, I guess, for me. Should I be suing Microprose for that and Sid Meier?
No, congratulations. They made a fucking fun game.
I mean, if this lawsuit held any water, or this sort of grounds, every casino would be sued to the ends of the earth by now. Because when you walk into a casino, Ian, it's like the wondrous adult sights and sounds, things happening around to keep you attentive. And oh, look at that shiny thing. I want to play that. I want to play that slot machine. Why is there a Price is Right slot machine with a wheel? I don't know, but I'm putting money in it, which I have.
Sure.
That's how corporations make money. They draw you in. It's like a fishing line with a worm, and we're like, we're going after it. And yes, Fortnite has done it ridiculously well. But you know how they've done it? Because it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Cocaine isn't free.
And you get one life. You get one shot.
And I didn't realize that. Yeah, you go back in. You got to keep going.
Yeah, and when you die, you just hold down a button and it restarts you in another game.
Give me another shot.
Best out of 100.
Time me off, Ian. Give me one more round.
It's a good idea. It's not my favorite game, but it's a good idea, and it worked, and people like it. So if your son's failing out of high school, I don't know, maybe be a better fucking parent and don't blame it on someone else. The game's not addictive like cocaine. I'll fucking shove rails up your nose until you're addicted, and you tell me that they're the same thing.
Ian will inject a heroin needle right into your eyeball if he has to get the point across about the addictive nature of drugs versus video games. Yeah, I mean, let's try to put ourselves in. I like playing devil's advocate. I like to put myself inside other people's psyches. If you're the parents of a kid that won't stop playing Fortnite, Ian? What, would you stop it from getting to that point? Would you just say you only play for an hour a day? You got to have your homework done. Would you be more a preventative parent for them not to?
I'd look him in his eyes as I broke his system.
Or computer, I guess. If it's a computer.
Sure.
You would just do that?
Yep.
Or just, they have things.
There's a reason why I'm not a parent.
They have things like for your Wi-Fi, past sponsor Eero, great mesh Wi-Fi network. You can restrict access via your phone nowadays to what devices get internet. Like there are things in place. There are software locks that you could put on computers that you can only play a certain amount of time. Like there are things in place where even if you don't want to be do like preventative parenting and like raise your kid well to be like, okay, well, I appreciate the fact that you like this game, but you got to get your chores done. You got to do your homework. You got to go to your practice first. You got to be a well-rounded person. Even if you gloss over all the in your face, like common sense parenting techniques, they're still like, I'll just turn off your internet. And if you whine and cry, I don't care. I'll put on soundproof earmuffs. I don't have to be a good parent or not, Ian, but that's what I would do.
Yeah. That's fine. That works too.
There's lots of things you can do before you get to a class action lawsuit that you will most likely lose very easily against Epic Games. If I haven't sued for no Unreal Tournament being developed, you can't sue for this. I'll go back to that. There's no class action lawsuit with me and the 100,000 people that like Unreal Tournament. I say 100,000, no, 10,000 maybe. That like Unreal Tournament. I don't know how big the environment is at this point. It's just silliness. It's just silliness. What do you think, Ian? Is this gonna?
No, it's not.
Hold water. This lawsuit.
It's not gonna hold a goddamn thing.
Would you allow your kid to play Fortnite?
If I had a kid, sure, he could play Fortnite, and we'd go from there.
But only if he gets his chores done first.
Chores.
Would you give an allowance for chores or no? You're lucky you have a roof over your head and food on the table.
I'd give it an allowance.
Give an allowance.
Yeah.
$5 a week could.
You know why you know what I don't like doing? Talking about hypothetical children's situations because I don't
anxious?
have them.
I'm not alluding to anything. I like to, I think you can be a decent parent.
Ugh.
You want to go to Balboa Park every now and then with the little munchkin, throw a frisbee,
Christ.
Go to the zoo.
Thing would be a murderer by the time it was a teenager.
Okay then. All right.
Moving
on.